Hello, Buddhas. Today we are going to be talking about how to stop effing complaining about everything. Now, Buddhas, you might be wondering, Buddha Billionaire guy, yeah, I liked all your videos, I subscribed and hit the bell notification. I even went so far as to comment on a couple of them. But I've still got a lot of complaints in my head, and I really, you know what, I even followed your Instagram, and I've even got some complaints about that. What am I to do? Well, let me tell you, there is an easy solution. Just stop. Now, it's easier than it sounds, and it's also more challenging than you might think. We spend a lot of time complaining, constantly, literally. Complain about this, complain about that. You can see something perfectly great. This vacuum, for example. Great vacuum. Fantastic vacuum. But the battery life is only like 15 minutes. Okay. Guess what? I live in 500 square feet. When I went to purchase this vacuum, everyone thought I was crazy because why would I want that tiny little vacuum? All the people that we've ever talked to about Dyson vacuums hated them. And I thought to myself, everything I've ever heard about Dyson vacuums are fantastic, and I've only got a 500 square foot condo. So I don't need a big ass wall-mounted central vac system. I need a tiny little thingy that I can clean up messes with. And 3 years later, I love my Dyson. It's better than any vacuum I've ever used because it works for me, and I have no complaints. Perspective is where this all comes down to, or what this all comes down to. Everybody has their needs. It's true. A lot of the people who we talked about vacuums with before had multi-thousand square foot homes. Guess what? A little handheld Dyson is probably not the right vacuum in that situation. Hell, hire people to clean it for you if you got a house that big. But for me, it was perfect. So I'm using this as a specific example because it's one of those things where you can have a product that checks all kinds of boxes. It could have 10 things that you need to feel. It'd be boom, 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 all great. There could be one thing that's slightly not exactly ideal, literally because of the limitations of technology in the year 2020-ish. And it'll be considered a terrible product because there's one little thing wrong with it. Well, you can easily make the decision to flip that on its head. And you can say, well, it got 90%. That's an A+ in my books, as far as the schooling that I went to. And an A+ is considered a really damn good grade. There is no difference between a 90 and a 100 in the schooling system that I went to. It was all an A+. So who cares if there were some slight grammatical errors or one misquoted passage in your essay? It's still an A+. We have to get over this obsession with perfection. Nothing is perfect. Well, except you. You are perfect in exactly the way that you're supposed to be. But other than that, nothing is perfect because everything is constantly iterating and constantly getting better and constantly improving. If everything was perfect, good job, everybody. We can now ascend to a different level of imperfection so that we can keep going. That's kind of how it works, or else the whole entropy of the universe would end, and then we have the Big Bang again. And we've worked really hard to have what we have right now, even though it doesn't necessarily seem that what we have right now is great. But it is. And that's what I'm trying to get at. You choose to complain because you want to. It feels good. It's great. Oh, yeah, I really like that thing, but there's these problems with it. Oh, don't I feel fantastic? Oh yeah, I totally resonate with that because I had that exact same problem. Oh great, now we can just combine our hatred for something together and it makes us feel so good because we're part of a team. Yeah, that's just a fucking waste of time, people. Excuse my language. What we all need to accept in our life is that nothing is perfect and there is always the opportunity to complain. You can always complain about something, okay? However, you can also choose not to. And I think this is particularly important when it comes to interpersonal relationships. You can really complain about anything you want to complain about in relation to someone else because you're seeing them from your perspective. And if you want to complain about them, go ahead. But they're not going to enjoy what you have to say, and you aren't really going to enjoy doing it because the feeling that you're getting is actually going to be a low vibration, kind of like shitty feeling, but you think it's a good one because it feels like something at all, because we're so numb to having any feelings whatsoever in this society. But Buddhas, let me tell you this. When you acknowledge the complaint in your head, right, it's still going to pop up. Because we are constantly trying to make things better. That's our job here, is to improve the world. So you're going to constantly see things you don't like. But shut the fuck up about them, because everyone else doesn't care. And a lot of the times, the people that you're complaining to, or the product, or the whatever, it knows that it's got those liabilities, or those little things that it's working on. And you don't need to point them out constantly. That's the secret. Shut up about it. And then the more you keep quiet about it, the less vocal those ideas will get. The less forceful those ideas will try to be in your reality. And then suddenly, there's going to come a point where you're going to have to train this, and you're going to have to go down and do the hard work of not complaining. I know, it sounds ridiculous, but it's not easy. Or at least that may be a limiting belief of mine, but it's taken me quite some time to get to a point of not complaining, even though I'm currently complaining about people who complain, but that's just for the sake of this video. And you're going to get to a point where you're going to have less and less things to complain about because you're going to start enjoying the life that you have, and you're going to start appreciating the lovely things that you have in your life. And once it gets to that point, the entropy of the complaint version of you is going to really, really slow down. And you're not going to have as much to complain about because everything you're going to see is going to have a rose-tinted glasses perspective. And guess what? You don't need to wear the rose-tinted glasses to see life through a better lens. That's your choice, that's your perspective, so just stop complaining. Now, Buddhas, before this becomes an actual rant, remember, other than not complaining, the most important thing on this planet, in this universe, is to love yourself.